you, Akshay. Uh, Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all here. Your background, Malpani sir, it's familiar. I've seen it a lot in your videos. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm locked into this little room. My wife doesn't allow me to go outside. So, whatever damage you can do gets contained here. So, uh,
so
good.
yes, I'll take you directly through the pitch. Let me just share my screen. So what we are building is it is a tech-driven lender aggregator platform uh, for loan agents, particularly. Uh, so this is one platform where all the lenders are connected with us on API integration, and we have loan agents as our users, people who refer loans to their in their network to their clients and basically earn commission from that full time or part time. So the
Guys, I'm not muted. Okay, so I'm going to
okay,
continue interrupting you while you're talking. Again, I'm not trying to be rude, but these are thoughts which going through my head, and I'm just trying to share them with you.
sure.
But go ahead, yeah.
So
So, Abbas, this would actually have been a better slide. So, whenever you want to talk to people, part of it is you know a lot about what you're doing, but you also suffer from the curse of expert knowledge because this is what you do day in and day out. So, you use words like aggregator and platforms and stuff like that, a lot of which is actually jargon. And what you need to remember is that you need to get into people's heads, and especially when you start, a good way to start is either by asking them a provocative question or by cracking a joke or by telling a story. So I think this is a great way of starting because this makes sense. Whereas when you start about what we are, I'm not really very interested in what you are unless I first find out why should I even care about what you are. Is that making sense?
got it.
Go ahead.
Our users are these loan agents. So इनकी लाइफ में जो जनरली प्रॉब्लम्स क्या होती हैं कि they are not associated with many banks, so they have one or two or three banks in their connections wherein they refer these loans. But wherever they refer, it might not be that that lender is providing such loan for such a profile of a borrower.
Abbas, now see, this is what's happening. There is so much content. I'm having such a hard time that I'm no longer listening to you because I can always read faster than you can talk, which means you're losing my interest straight away. I'm kind of thinking, what is a loan agent? What is a client? Where do his clients come from? What does NBFC stand for? What is a DSA? And you don't really want people to be doing that. And the reality is, you have three different use cases. In the sense, these are three different personas. And what you could have perhaps done is you could have started off with the end user, which is the customer who wants the money, and then built up, mujhe paise chahiye, where do I get it from? And then talk about the rest of the people. Because if someone didn't want money, none of this would exist, correct? And then
Right.
explain how they fit in and how you can help their life become easier. But go ahead.
Got it. Some other problem is, let's say, these managers in banks, whenever a loan application comes, let's say their banks rejects it, but that does not mean that that borrower cannot get a loan in the market. So what they do is they refer these leads to their counterparts in other banks, or somehow want to get it disbursed, the banks which are catering to those profiles and want to earn a commission on that. So so again, they suffer from lack of connections. Again, the third problem is that there are what we call connectors, who are people who actually source these files from ground, these loan applications from ground. So these are generally people who, let's say, a local CA who local people know pretty well, and he is connected pretty well within three or four local markets, and everyone knows him there. But the thing is that there is a long chain of these agents, so he's connected with a boss above him, and there is this huge chain which eventually ends at two or three banks, and all this process is manual. Like, he collects hard copies and forwards it above, and eventually there is a lot of drip of commissions, and the end user and the end connector who is doing all the hard work doesn't eventually gets all the connections, just because he is not having the right connections or does not know where do I send this file exactly.
So now see where I'm getting confused, Abbas. What is a direct sales agent? I actually had to Google that because I don't know what a DSA is. And
Okay,
then what is
so
the difference between a DSA and a loan agent? And what is the connection between them? And how do they fit within the ecosystem? So that you can
okay,
actually create it as a kind of a mind map. This is the guy who wants money. He goes to his bank manager who says no because he doesn't think he's credit worthy. So therefore, he goes to XYZ. XYZ does A, B, C, or whatever else it is. So you build up your story. Is it making sense?
Got it. So DSAs are direct selling agents. So eventually, bank roll out credit through three mediums, either through digital marketing, acquiring leads of borrowers, or by having their on-roll sales team, which goes out in the field and sells these loans and credit products. Or the major one which is existing is these direct selling agents, which are more like affiliates to the banks, who are working independently on an agreement with the banks and providing them leads and earn commission, basic working on a success fee model with the banks. So that's where 30 to 40% of the business of banks happen uh, through these DSAs. So again, the problem with these agents is the sector is very unorganized. They have limited options and all these things. There are data privacy issues of the borrower. They do not get, one major thing is that they do not get real update on the lead status. Let's say if an agent applied for a business loan of a borrower and there is a very small issue with the let's say the business registration proof, which he can get corrected immediately, but there is a huge delay in him getting to know that this is the issue so that he can close loop, and eventually the borrower loses interest और वो कहीं और से पैसे जुगाड़ के उसका काम चल जाता है, and again the quality of lead suffers. There are multiple middlemen involved, so these are multiple problems which these people face, which currently no one is addressing at scale. So what we are building is this platform where on the one side we will have all the lenders, and on one side we will have these agents associated with us directly. And what the agent will do is the agent will put in the requirements of the borrowers, the profile of the borrower, and we will tell that where does this borrower stands the highest chance of getting the loan, and actually apply that loan for him on his behalf to that particular bank or lender, so that the chances of the approval, the chances of the conversion are very high, and the agent gets quick commission, and the entire process is real time. Like it, we are API integrated with all these banks and lenders. So this is what we are building. This is more of a matchmaking.
So then the banks will cut out the loan agent directly. Then the loan agent will say, हाँ ठीक है अभी तो मुझे मिल रहा है, लेकिन in a few years, I mean, or a few months also, the bank is going to say, then just come to us directly. We will use this algorithm for matching. What?
हाँ, so, but the वो banks अभी भी कर रहे हैं. The thing is that banks have these DSA programs wherein they register DSAs, but they do not partner with everyone unless they are giving some volume of business. So they have these terms ki let's say itna business karoge tabhi you can connect with us, and these loan
agents agree that DSAs are going to get disintermediated. This is going to be very short term, maybe over the next 2 to 3 years. But effectively, everyone is like people don't go to bookstores anymore. At some point, the borrower is going to say, why should I go through someone? I'm just going to go online. The bank already has whatever details they want. Why do you need this human intermediary? I'm not talking about a short term. See, if I'm going to invest in your company, I also need to think about where things are going to be 3 years from now.
Right.
And the loan agent right now may be happy, or the DSA may be happy to use your platform because it is temporarily increase his workload, but the reality is he's going to work himself out of the job very soon. He's serving as a middleman right now, because right now perhaps the borrower cannot fill the form properly, the borrower can't do this, so he needs some hand holding. That's not going to keep on. It's not sustainable, is my worry.
Right. So the answer to your question, doctor, is that these loan agents are connected to 2 or 3 of the banks. However, we have all the lenders with us. And when the agent has to fill the form, let's say in X bank, he has to fill the entire form once. If he has to fill in Y bank, he has to fill the entire form once, and he will obviously not be connected with all the lenders, because if he gets different types of profiles of borrowers, he certainly would, let's say if the borrower is a migrant, he might not be connected with a lender who caters to migrants. So however, if he is connected with us, we are connected with all the lenders, and we are giving him highest chances of approval of all the files. So eventually the case would be that if a loan agent applies for a loan through Paisa Growth, either his loan will get approved with the best deal in the market. If his loan gets rejected, that means the borrower cannot get a loan in the market. we are creating digital loan applications with the help of with the assistance of these agents. So agents are eventually assisting the borrower in creating these loan applications. One of the pillars we have is tech, which caters to loan application authentication, scoring, profiling, matchmaking borrower with the lender.
But
And
Abbas, a lot of this is now becoming a commodity. So it's very, I'm not very clear because the first thing I think of is अरे ये तो ढेर सारे लोग कर रहे हैं और अभी तो तेरे पास human agent है. In a few months, it's definitely going to become a chat at some point. So, and in fact, the chatbot is likely to do a far better this thing than an agent can. So right now, you have 10 agents doing the service. The reality, what will happen is we'll have one super agent who has great human connections and relationships, who will then drive the other 9 out of business. That's what's going to happen. Because his efficiency to be able to handle incoming queries will become much more because he's digitally enabled thanks to a chatbot. That's the writing on the wall, is my guess.
Got it. So these
So the number of agents you're going to have to deal with will progressively reduce, is my limited point. आज तेरे पास 100 है उसमें से only 10 of this thing, and at some point a lot of them, the ones who really become big, will say, hey, this is stuff we can handle for ourselves. This is my worry. Go on, bro. So some you will end up driving out of business, and the really big ones will perhaps have so much stuff that they will be able to use their own tech. They may not see any need to want to come to your platform. Is what my worry is.
Got it. So I'll come on to that. That's in the next slide. One of the major pillars we are having is these collaborations with these traditional financial institutions, which are already running in tier 3 or 4 localities, which have very good distribution networks, and partnering with like service companies like e-com, travel, logistics, wherever there is a chain involved, we can basically partner with them and get the loan approved, loan required, catered of their chain. And apart from that, we are having all kinds of lenders, like standard lenders as well as niche lenders, and all kinds of lending and credit products, so that we can matchmake and get the best fit lender directly and apply to that lender in one instant. And as and when that lender rejects, we will apply to the second best fit lender instantly.
Okay.
So this is the current landscape here, wherein for a tier 1 borrower, say there are a lot of companies which are catering through digital marketing. However, if we talk about the financial inclusion in the remote parts of India, there are a few companies which are operating traditionally, and they are catering this loan distribution through physical networks. Like there's many of them. Let's say there's a guy in say Bhopal or any remote city or any city, and he is having 20 men, and he is sourcing these files from ground over email, and they are still working. So people are there in the business, but definitely in tier 2, 3 and 4 cities.
So my worry, Abbas, is this a growing market or is this a shrinking market? In the sense that you're providing a solution right now, and perhaps you'll get customers for 1 year, 2 years. The thing is that you will then create awareness about the service, but will you own the right to continue winning, is my limited point. Because from what I can see, all this stuff that you're talking about, tier 3, tier 4, don't have internet access, don't have this, all these are moving targets. In the next year or so, all these will become irrelevant problems, which is the time when you will actually be growing, is my hypothesis.
So we believe that definitely the penetration of internet and mobile devices will be at a super pace, and our agents will be acting as enablers to basically get that done. For example, even right now in tier 1 cities, if anyone wants a business loan of 50 lakhs, they do not go to Paisa Bazaar, they go to a loan agent because they want the best deal out there in the market. So even in tier 1 cities, if someone wants a loan of 50 lakhs, they go through these agents because they know that they have the networks and they will get the best deal for them.
That's true right now. At some point to stop. It's a bit like an LIC agent or an insurance agent. Right now, people still, that's your default. Dinosaurs like me will still perhaps go to a human being because we have a relationship. Most of the younger guys with the new guys aren't going to bother. This is what my hypothesis is. That's what my worry is, that you're in a market which is progressively getting increasingly digital. You're going to be an intermediary. Right now, who's disintermediating existing middlemen. But the reality is you're going to get disintermediated. That's my worry. Go ahead.
Right. But for that, we so
Aggregators are intermediaries, don't you agree? Now, if you're an intermediary in a growing market, I think you're fine. If you're an intermediary in a shrinking market, that's definitely cause for concern.
got it. But we believe that with time we will be exactly knowing that what kind of borrower profile is best catered with which lender. So I believe that will give us an edge with time, that for instant loan disbursals and for the best deal out there in the market, wherein someone else might.
So I honestly believe a lot of these algorithms are written rules which are fair become commodities. And then it's going to be whoever has the most data set or the largest data set will get the best ability to be able to match the two. So I'm not really sure that's a competitive edge for you. I understand it's a generic competitive edge, but I'm not sure necessarily whether it will be one for you for Pesa Growth. But go ahead.
Okay. So this is the landscape in that growth is expected to be higher in cities outside the top 50 cities, and we have this network of CAs, doctors, lawyers who have this foothold in the local market, who we believe that who are actually doing this business already. But we
Abbas
believe,
is not going to be loyal to you is my limited point. उसको तो पैसा उसको किधर से भी मिल रहा है तो tomorrow he will sign up for you all these guys. He'll sign up with Pesa Bazaar. He'll sign up with every person. That's my worry. There
right.
is no
So,
stickiness for him to want to continue staying with you is my concern. But go ahead.
right. So differentiator between Paisa Bazaar and us is that we are doing this through micro entrepreneurs, and the target of Paisa Bazaar is, again, like you said, millennials, like young salaried professionals, new guys. Whereas we are catering to all kinds of
Let's
business.
be realistic. At some point, once they saturate that market, what's to stop them from doing the next step? In fact, they can already do everything without an agent. For them to plug in an additional agent in the journey is going to be a trivial exercise. That's my worry. Go on.
Right. So far in their journey, they have been trying to sideline and eliminate these agents. So if they want, they can come up with this model.
So if I were Pesa Bazaar, I would say, okay, you don't need an agent, follow this path. You want an agent, we will help you. We'll connect you to the right agent. Okay, but go ahead.
Ankur was
Ideally, Abbas, you should have started with this guy as your first line.
okay.
Because then it will, you're saying this is the story. But you should start with stories. कि बेचारा घूम रहा था फिर रहा था पैसा चाहिए था कोई उसको पैसे देने के लिए रेडी नहीं था and then Paisa Growth came to his rescue and now he lived happily ever after. I'm assuming. And he'll live
Got
even
it,
happy
yes.
after if he doesn't repay the loan. Right?
No. So he is a loan agent. He's a loan agent.
I'm just saying, huh? But okay, so I think just my big concern with this entire segment, quite frankly, Abbas, is giving loans is easy. Making sure they get repaid effectively, then you pass the buck on. कि अभी अभी वो बैंक का हेडेक है और फिर क्या होने वाला है ultimately people will pay their initial first few installments without a problem. Out of them, a certain proportion will start defaulting inevitably. I mean, not because they're crooked or anything else. And then because of those, I think that's when the problem will start arising. And then people will say, hey, it's too risky to give money to these guys. It will take us 2 to 3 years to find out and keep on fine tuning these algorithms. But that's the worry. That initially it seems very exciting because the reality is that giving it out is easy. Because collecting the revenue and disbursing the loan is the easy thing. But collecting the payments afterwards is hard. 95% of people are honest. It's the 5% who don't where you actually end up losing money overall. That's a concern. But go ahead.
Okay, so again, he was a real estate broker and he was suffering after COVID, but he joined us and he made good money and he is still working with us. So the thing is that as and when it's a chicken and egg problem, eventually with more lenders and more users will cover more geography, more products, and the thing is that as and when we do more business, we have so this is the team. Anurag has earlier worked with an NBFC.
Abbas, your time is over. Dr. Malpani, any last questions you want to ask?
So I think I should tell you that investors, by definition, need to be skeptical. So when you're trying to find holes in your story, that doesn't mean that it's not going to work. It's just that we come with a particular lens. You just need to understand that. And a lot of your pitching has to be a little bit of education. You need to proactively preempt some of these questions. And it's great actually to put some of these are the worries people are, you as an investor are likely to have. and then be able to address some of them. Because then I'll say, wow, this guy's clever. He's already thought of some of the questions which I'm going to ask, and he's answered them. My point is that investors come with prejudices and biases. So, for example, it's possible that I may know of someone else who's invested in a similar company which went foot. So I'm going to say, "Uski foot hogi, to Abbas mein kya magic hai jo uski nahi hogi." I'm just telling you. So we all have prejudices, which doesn't reflect on you as an individual. Just understand that.
Got it.
Okay.
So I had earlier worked with Bitso, which has now been acquired by Zomato. Akash has been building this product.